And one thing I've shared for me, it's like when guys talk about, oh, porn's no big deal. I'm just watching. I'm just enjoying it. It's like, no, it's like actually kind of look behind the curtain a little bit and realize what is going on within, within the industry. It's something I'm extremely passionate about and getting involved in 2020 is, supporting some sex trafficking and, human slave
Right.
organizations, because that is what's fueling, this $1 billion industry. So yeah, when I'm, if I'm on here and I'm watching, I'm watching two people have sex, realize that one of those people may be there not at their own, accord, like they may be forced there. Then you have the drugs that are involved behind this, the abuse, and it's just like it's just a horrible, evil place to even think about being involved in. So
Oh man,
that's one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about having a voice, against the industry.
that's awesome, man. That's such a good perspective and spin on it because you know that's true. I mean, most people are not like, well, I'm going to go have sex with a random stranger on film and I'm totally fine with that. It's the money and then there's some manipulation and it's drugs and I just can't imagine too many people just feel 100% okay with that are just spiritually, in line and sober and like, oh, this is great. And so there's a lot of in man with the drugs there was an evil presence that started to happen. And I prayed for that. And I think when it stopped working is what I like to call it, meaning I couldn't get any relief. I definitely was under the influence, but I still was like, what are you doing? Like your family won't talk. Oh, that was God starting to work, but I didn't recognize that at the time. It took me probably 6 months into my sobriety to look back and think, wow, like that was right when. And like, no wonder I heard that voice so clear. Like, it's going to be okay. This is the last time you have to do this. He was leading me up to that point, and I never even made the connection until, like I said, about 6 months sober. And, I think I started following a plan of action. And, for me, listen, I think however one gets sober, gets freed from addiction, and can enjoy and thrive in their life, I'm not dogmatic that you have to do it this way or that way. I will say for me, a spiritual component part is a huge part of it that if someone can get sober just by simply more like cognitive therapy and there's no religious or spiritual approach, like my hat's off to you. I can't say I understand it, to be honest,
Yeah,
because
I think it's got to be like, no matter, for me, and we've shared it here on the, today, but it's like you got to have something that you're working towards that is beyond who you are. It's like you're held almost captive by not the drug, but the feeling that the drug is bringing to you. And the only way to replace that feeling is by, service to something that is bigger than you, whether that's a mission of a company, whether that's a mission of a family. But yeah, for me, I agree. I think there's got to be the spiritual side of it, because you got to believe, man, that you were created and you're here for a reason. If not, the drugs could have easily just taken you out any number of times, but you're still breathing, you're still standing. So there's a purpose to who you are and to why you're here.
amen, dude.